Hi, I'm Austin Nuremberg.
My name is Garwin O'Connor.
I'm Mark Paluski. I'm James Orlando.
And I'm John Novak.
Unfortunately, Colin O'Donnell will not be able to present with us today due to illness. We're here today to give you an opportunity to invest in Taylor Swift, an award-winning artist who is on her way to becoming a legendary icon in the music industry.
The most talented and successful music artist today is Taylor Swift. She has demonstrated great potential for continuing her already productive career and becoming a long-lasting music icon around the world. Taylor Swift was born in Wyomissing, PA 25 years ago. At the age of 9, she began to express her musical interests by competing in local contests and talent fairs. Only 2 years later, Taylor was selected to perform the national anthem before a professional basketball game in Philadelphia. Her motivation to pursue a musical career grew immensely after this experience. She began writing her own songs and learning how to play the 12-string guitar, even though this instrument was not appropriate for her small and thin fingers. At 14 years old, Swift moved to Nashville, Tennessee to pursue a career in music. Her willingness to put in the time and hard work in what she was passionate about was crucial to being noticed in a cafe in Nashville by Scott Borchetta. At the age of 14, she signed a contract with the independent record producer Big Machine Records, making her the youngest songwriter ever hired by the Sony ATV music publishing house. Taylor made the top 10 charts for country singers when she was only 16, and every new single since then has been a hit. Taylor Swift's major accomplishments include 11 American Music Awards, 7 Grammys, 6 Country Music Association Awards, and she was named the IFPI Global Recording Artist of 2014. The secret of Taylor Swift's success lies within her values, mission, and vision. She has an unparalleled ability to connect with her audience. She is a storyteller. She modernized country music and widened her audience to those who are not necessarily country music enthusiasts. Her genuine attitude, expressed with simplicity, helps her to add more fans all over the world. Taylor shows strong appreciation for her fans, not only in person, but also using social media. Swift's music is clean and can be enjoyed by people of all ages. Taylor Swift's mission includes being a role model for her fans, continuing to grow her fan demographics, to be a worldwide music star for the future, and to succeed in a variety of musical genres. Her vision is to be the top country music artist of all time, and continue to tell her stories and express herself in her songs, which everybody can see themselves in.
The world of music entertainment is complex and fast-moving. How do you know that your investment in Taylor Swift is the right decision? A common problem that most investors face is whether or not the artist they invest in will use their money to grow and expand. Let's get to know Taylor Swift a little bit more. To say that Taylor Swift has been generating a lot of buzz in the media would be a serious understatement. Swift is by and large one of the most influential minds in media today. Swift displays an incredible amount of referent power. This is because she has a great influence on all of her fans, and they all respect her deeply. Though popular among the youth and young adults, she has been able to attract fans of all age demographics. Not only does she appeal to a wide variety of people, Swift also never sticks with conventional styles and is always pushing the envelope in her music. Beginning as a country star, Taylor Swift eventually evolved her craft to the point where she was making more pop-centric tunes. Taylor Swift today is a lot different than the Taylor Swift of 3 years ago. Even though she's changed her style, her fans still stick with her. We estimate that in the future, if Taylor Swift were to change her style again, her fans would probably stick with her as well. Taylor Swift has a clean and a positive image, and her fan base continues to grow because of that. Though only about half as popular amongst the male population and existing in an environment of intense competition, she has the ability to evolve and adapt to these challenges in the coming future.
Taylor Swift is easily one of the most successful people in the music industry today. She has achieved this in a variety of ways. Because she works in both the pop and country genres, she's doubled the size of her audience and diversified her demographic. Also, because she doesn't use any explicit lyrics, her music is accessible to all kinds of people across the world. To demonstrate her consistently growing fan base, you need only to look at her album sales. Her first album, called Taylor Swift, debuted selling 40,000 copies. Just a few years later, her album, Fearless, became the best-selling album of 2009. It is also known as the most awarded country music album of all time. Perhaps the greatest accolade that this album won was winning the Grammy for Best Album of the Year. A couple years later, she released Red. It became the biggest first-week sales of any country music album. It was also the best-selling album of 2012. Just this past year, she released 1989, and it became the best-selling album of 2014. Her past three albums, Speak Now, Red, and 1989, all sold 1 million copies their first week in stores, and she's the only artist that holds that accolade. Taylor Swift has become very organized in her career. She's begun to follow a pattern that has led to her massive fan base. She releases an album and then goes on tour for that album. The tours are a great way to support already existing fans and gain new ones. With each consecutive tour, she's grossed more and more money, showing her growing fan base. Her first tour gained 63.7 million, and her last tour gained over 150 million. She's currently on tour for her 1989 album, and it is on track to become her highest selling yet.
Taylor Swift has been able to expand herself through many different markets. She is currently an ambassador for Diet Coke, Keds, CoverGirl, and Elizabeth Arden. She also has an exclusive album from Target that only gets released there whenever she releases an album. Her fans are able to connect with her through her Yahoo talk show, and she also appears on many other shows such as The Tonight Show and Saturday Night Live. She currently has perfume and clothing departments, which are highly profitable, which leads to her business. Taylor Swift operates like an adaptive organization. 6 years ago, she originally began with just country music. From then, she has changed from country to country pop to pop. The ability to adapt to the consumer's taste in music allows for higher profitability. Along with being an adaptive organization, Taylor Swift utilizes customer departmentalization. The three departments include sales, public relations, and media. Sales include her perfume and clothing line. The media allows her to connect with her fans through various types of social media. Public relations allow for exposure to the audience and can see what the consumers want out of her. All this shows how she is very business oriented along with being an artist.
Taylor Swift's albums have seen substantial growth since her first debut album in 2006. As shown above, her previous three albums have consistently sold more than 1 million copies in 1 week after their original release. One of Taylor Swift's multi-platinum selling albums, 1989, has seen great success through the vast number of distributors and retailers who carry her product lines. Swift chooses what retailers are licensed to carry her products with the maximization of profits in mind. Taylor Swift was named the IFPI Global Recording Artist of the Year in 2014. You achieved this by having the most music downloads, streaming, and physical hard copies sold. She has a comparative advantage over other artists because of the fact that she has such a strong global presence. Swift's music has achieved sales certifications of platinum and gold in 14 countries spanning 5 continents. A significant portion of her earnings. She made nearly $40 million in 2014 and sells on average about $17 per ticket at each of her shows worth of merchandising. Her merchandise includes posters, CDs, apparel, a fragrance line and a clothing line, along with various other novelties. Taylor Swift has a large following on social media. Her followers are around 140 million and is growing constantly. These 140 million followers and/or subscribers are through Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and Tumblr. Her social media following is a great opportunity for Taylor Swift to utilize free advertising. A major factor in Madonna's successful career, who's the #4 selling artist of all time, is her ability to change the perception of her audience through videos and her performances. Taylor Swift displays this adaptiveness by her ability to reinvent herself through her music. An example of this adaptiveness would be Taylor Swift's transitioning from country in the beginning of her career to country pop, and now most recently producing several strictly pop songs. Taylor Swift already has a decorated music career, which includes various industry achievements and multi-platinum selling albums. Taylor Swift was the #1 global selling artist of 2014 and will continue to see substantial growth throughout her career through a prominent global presence, a strong social media following, and most importantly, producing music that connects to her ever-growing fan base.